everybody, welcome back to Meals with Marsha. Today I'm going to be making some homemade coleslaw. This is a great summer dish to make, to take to a barbecue or to just make with hot dogs or pulled pork. It's a great side dish. In the South we make it as a side dish to go with like chicken casserole, fried chicken, whatever. So let's get started. Now I've just got a small cabbage head. Now this is a recipe that's really hard to be exact on because depending on how much cabbage you have is how much mayonnaise and different things that you have to go with it. So I'm going to try my best to measure this and to tell you what I think it is, and you just have to tweak it, okay? All right, like I said, this is our cabbage. You always want to buy a really hard cabbage head. When you pick up a head of cabbage and you squeeze it, it needs to be hard as a rock, because if it's soft, it's not going to be very full in the inside and you're not going to get much out of it. Now this is going to make a lot. This looks very small, but it's going to make a ton of slaw. All right, I got my knife. I'm going to cut the end of it off. It's very difficult. And I got me a little bowl here to put my mess in. All right, then you're just going to cut down the middle. And then you can cut it this way. Now, if you'll see that core that's in there, we're going to cut that out because that is not good to eat in your slaw. So let's get that cut out. Let me go at an angle here. And so you're just cutting that core out. Make sure you got it all. Pretty much got it all. There's a little bit on that one. You just kind of go at an angle with your knife. Today's Tuesday. I'll be working this afternoon. My family comes over tonight for dinner. And we're going to be having a homemade pizza tonight, but I'm making this for lunch, and I'll take some to my friends at work. And my daughter and my son-in-law are here helping me today, so I'll be feeding them too. Now, you have to fit this inside this little thing right here, so you're going to have to cut it into chunks that are small enough to fit down in that little feeder there. This is my food processor. I have had this little baby for about 25 years. They don't make them like they used to. I hope it keeps going on me because I hate to have to replace stuff. I had a casserole dish I bought like 25 years ago, and I'd cooked in it and cooked in it, and it broke, and I cried for 2 days. My family laughs at me, but you know, you get used to certain bowls and dishes and gadgets in the kitchen, and you just feel like you can't do without them, but we just have to make do. All right, let me get this. Let me cut that one more time. All right, now this is going to be loud, but I'm going to feed this. Now I want to show you, there's an inside blade into your food processor. You don't use that one on this. You want to use the blade that shreds. This side says shred, this side says slice. I want to shred, so I'm putting it in there with my shred. Be careful because that little blade right there can be sharp. Then you're just going to lock that on there, and then you're just going to put your cabbage right down in here. And then you're going to turn it on to low. And you're going to go. And you're going to just keep doing that till you get it all processed. Always push that down to make sure it goes through. Finished. I don't know if I should have done all this cabbage or not. It always makes a lot. It's a small head and it makes a lot. Alright. Now I'm going to add some carrots. I just like to do a few carrots because I like a little color in my slaw. And I like that bit of the taste that carrots bring. Let me see if I can cut this bag open. I just always buy the baby carrots. They're already washed and ready. And I'm just going to do, I don't know, maybe just 2 small handfuls. And we'll see what that looks like when I pour it out. And if I need some more, I will put it in there. I think that's going to be enough, but we'll see. Down to make sure that gets in there. All right, so I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to scrape this excess out. My hands are clean. I washed them before we started. Now, if there's any big pieces, you want to pull that out because you don't want that to be in your slaw. And then there's a few little big chunks of carrots. You don't want that. Let's see what this looks like. Can I get that off? Yeah, these big chunks. Gotta get those out. Okay. Now, I think that's going to be enough cabbage. I'm sorry, carrots, but I'm going to see when I pour it into the bowl. I'm going to stir it up and see. May need a little bit more, but I don't know. I don't like too much, just a little for color. Okay, I'm going to set that there. I'm going to set this here. The only thing about shredding up cabbage is it sticks to everything and it gets everywhere. When I make sauerkraut, it's the same way. Now, let's stir this up a little bit and see if I got enough carrots in there. I think I do. I just want a little bit of color. You don't want it to do too many carrots because it just turns really orange, and you want it to have that white and the orange color. So I think that looks about perfect. All right, now I've got to mix up my dressing for this, and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back, guys. I'm going to get started on making the dressing for my slaw. Now, I've got all this chopped up. This is a pretty good amount. Like, if you remember, that was a very small head, but it's a very hard head, so you get tons and tons of cabbage out of that. And you can keep slaw for 2 or 3 days in the refrigerator. It's pretty good. It's going to have vinegar on it, but it starts turning dark after about 2 to 3 days. So you might want to eat it pretty quick, or if you do small amounts. Like I said, a small head will make a lot. All right, so I'm not exactly sure of the measurements. I'm going to try, like I said, my best to do this, but I'm going to take several tablespoons, heaping tablespoons. Let me see what that looks like. That may be a cup of mayonnaise, maybe. And then I like to put just a little bit of sugar in there. Some people don't like that, but we do. We like a little sugar in there, so I'm just going to put like a tablespoon of sugar in there. And then we're going to do 2 or 3 tablespoons of distilled white vinegar. My great aunt Virgie taught me how to make coleslaw. She was an excellent cook. She still is. I don't think she cooks as much anymore as she used to. But we've done some cooking together over the years, and she showed me how to make coleslaw. One year we had a 50-pound sack of cabbage, and we were making kraut. So we decided, let me try 2. Let's see. We decided we were going to make some coleslaw that day, and it was delicious. So let me mix this up and see what the consistency is, because it kind of needs to be a thin consistency so it will go all through. So let's stir this up. It's going to be thin. That's good. And then after you put this in there and stir it up, you wait a few minutes and see what it's going to do, because it looks like it may not be enough in the beginning, but then it is enough. So you got to stir it up, put it over the cabbage and the carrots, and then stir it and just kind of see what it looks like. You kind of have to go by how it feels. And this, you just want to incorporate it. You don't have to have, it don't have to be perfect, just enough, but you see the consistency of that. It's almost like salad dressing, I guess you would say. The consistency of like ranch dressing or something. All right, now, I like to put McCormick seasoned salt. You can use any seasoned salt you want, but I like to put a couple of dashes of that in my slaw. It kind of gives it a flavor. My Aunt Karen used to make slaw to all of our get-togethers, and she said her secret was seasoned salt, and she always had the best slaw. Now I'm going to put a little pepper. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt, just regular salt, just a little dash. All right, let's bring this up here a little bit closer so I can stir it in. We'll see what we're going to get. So you just drizzle all that in there. Probably need to use my spoon to scrape it out, I would think. Now, if this is not the right consistency, if you need more, you just add a little bit more mayonnaise. I wouldn't think you'd need any more vinegar or sugar, but you just stir this around till it gets all in there. And you can kind of see what it's supposed to look like. And with that milk in there, it makes it makes it a thinner dressing. So you'll, oh, there's a big piece of cabbage. Let me get that out. It's a thinner dressing, so it'll go through the cabbage quicker too. So, and as it sits, it makes up a little bit more juice. I guess it kind of pulls the moisture out of that cabbage and makes it that way. But this looks pretty good. I might need just a, I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. I thought about doing a smidge more mayonnaise, but I think I'm going to be good on this. And like I said, you can make it your own. Some people like spicy hot slaw. You can put some hot sauce in it, or jalapenos, or whatever. I don't like hot slaw. My husband only likes slaw on barbecue. I like slaw a lot more than he does. All right, now I'm going to make some hot dogs. So later this week, so I'm going to have that probably maybe tomorrow or Thursday. There's another big piece. And if you get any big pieces, you just need to pull those out because those won't be good. All right, let me taste this and see if I think it needs a little bit more of something. And we'll check it out. I'll get my clean spoon here. Yeah, I think it needs a little bit more mayonnaise in it. My son-in-law Joshua would be like, amen to that. So he's a mayonnaise lover. I'm gonna put 1 more tablespoon of mayonnaise in there. And I think just a little smidge more sugar. It's got plenty of vinegar in there. You can really taste that vinegar, but you want that, you want to get a hint of the creaminess of the mayonnaise also. Like I said, with coleslaw, it's really hard to measure, but today I did a cup of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, white distilled vinegar, and a tablespoon of sugar. But I went back and I put another heaping tablespoon of mayonnaise in here for the coleslaw. So now let's try it and see. Looks a little creamier. Got another spoon here. Let me see. That's a whole lot better. All right. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover this and I'll put it in the refrigerator. And I'm gonna serve this. I'm gonna make chicken casserole today. And I'm gonna fry some okra. And I'm gonna serve this coleslaw with it. And then tomorrow we're gonna have some hot dogs on the grill. And I'll make a slaw dog with that. So, listen guys, if you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Meals with Marsha, and share. And I'll talk to you later.